traded and people invest in it, and it's the entire market. It's S&P 500 anyway. But no, that's not the only stock I talk about on here. No, and that's not a stock. It's a, I guess you could say it's a ticker. Mostly we follow the QQQ, but that's not the stock that. I mean, that's not a stock either. That's an index. It's the index of the technology growth market. All right. So this morning, though, we do have ELAB up a lot in pre-market, and but it is a very illiquid name. I'm gonna change this to 2 up down here because, yeah, it's just a waste. 3. That'd be this one. Okay. Waste of space. Cool. Good morning, Randy. All right. Wait, we had 4 in here just a minute ago, didn't we? Daniel, Randy, Carl, Justin. Okay, and Justin's gone now. All right. Coming in and left. All right. Fine. All right, let's talk about the market. Well, let me just double check. There's not any other interesting opportunities this morning. PHUN. Average volume 5 mil. Float 100 mil. 10-cent stock. Too illiquid normally. The next one that just barely qualifies is MOR. And which is the only one that's over $1 billion market cap as well. And it's up, MR, it's up 15% this morning. I'm sure on some kind of news. Let's see. ELAB, yeah, it's down there on the bottom left. MOR, it is up on some news, I'm sure. No, it doesn't really say. Oh, okay. From equal weight from overweight. Okay, it's actually a downgrade by Morgan Stanley somehow. That's the only news I'm seeing. There's probably something else. But this one is an average volume of 3.5 million, and that's good. So that trades about 10 million per day, dollars. But the float is 137 million, and pre-market the volume so far is only 300,000, and so that's 1/10 the average volume. So that's a nothing. So that's how you can go through stocks and figure out if there's anything worthwhile. All right, looking at the Qs, and we still have my projection there. It's probably going to be obliterated in no time. On Friday, we topped out on the market with some chopping resistance action at the end of a week of price improvement. But that was to be expected, and we're predicted seasonally during election years over the last 38 years to chop for the rest of the month until there's a dip by drop, panic drop on the last 2 days of January. So for the next week, oh wow, I drew that line like way off, by the way. Let me see here. Oh no, that is correct. Oh, that is correct. Okay, February starts right there. Okay, yeah, that's correct. So that dotted line is a representation, not a good example, but a representation of effectively what the future until the end of the month looks like, and then we're going to rally all through February. And I love to see people say, you don't know that. Follow me for a while before you say anything. Because your preconception of how to judge me uh, maybe just useless thinking. Hello, Justin and Kim. Good morning. What are we getting in on today? Uh, Sunshine and rainbows? I don't know. No, we'll see when the market opens. But right now, there's not a lot of stuff that's too hot this morning. But we are open. By the way, continuing to talk about the market, we're opening just underneath Friday's low. So that sets us back behind the starting line quite a ways, and then we've got to make some progress. Now, it's possible we obliterate Friday because it was a small day. We could possibly obliterate Friday, but it's very easy and really within the cards to then turn around, reject, and go red after that, which would really send us down for the whole week. Now, the second thing that can happen is we retrace up a little bit and then we start going down and we have a bleed out day all day today. And it then could go up tomorrow and then down the next day. And then Friday, we're all of a sudden we're at Friday and maybe down on Friday. And we just get a kind of a choppy pullback week. So both those prognoses so far are negative. If we have some kind of a strong breakout day, we'll know within the first 10 or 20 minutes that something strange is going on. We'll have high projected end of day volume, and we'll try and find any opportunities to get in. But it is likely that by the end of the day, you could count on that being a fake out, not a breakout. And things will turn around, turn red, chop, resist, wait, consolidate, pull back, correct. There's just too many reasons why. But again, we stay on our toes and then we do what needs to be done. Yeah, Jack. And so, a pullback is probably the most probable result for this week. So that's good because it means perhaps next week, we could get in for a rally, or at the end of this week if we get a signal on a dip. But like I said, at the end of the month, January 29, 30, somewhere in there, there'll be a panic dip going on, which is basically going to constitute the fact that the market has fallen for a couple of days, shouldn't have broken a low, but breaks a low. And that's what creates a panic, is support drops out. And it's actually at that point or the next day, but roughly in that region there, that a dip by opportunity will be presenting itself. It's not necessarily a good idea. Randy says, sounds like a week that's better to study and get comfy with some of those 135 new charts. Randy, I'm glad you saw. Yeah, I didn't see you mark an X or a check or anything kind of acknowledgement on that post about that. Remember to do that whenever you see something. It helps me understand who's seen things. And I wondered if you had seen that. But yeah, I did get those up. And I didn't get to finish my description of things to look for in the lesson. But I put a lot there. I mean, I think I got 4 things to look for, all very detailed, in there. But there's so many things to look for, and that's basically, you get better as a trader. The factor that makes you a better trader is that you're thinking of more things, and you can't think of more things if you don't know more things. And so to cross any kind of line as a trader, you need months, minimum 9 months, and a year or 2 really, before you could really say, yeah, I've got the experience, I understand 1,001 things about trading stocks. But yeah, there should be you should have hundreds of things that you can see in a chart. And so when you look at those charts, though, there's like, maybe 8 to 10 key, very important things to look for. And then of each of those 8 to 10 things, there's probably 3 to 5 kind of interpretation points to consider. So that's a lot right there. That's like 50 things to know just about how to read a good high growth chart. But right on. All right, what time we got here? We've got 20 minutes until the market opens. By the way, what I'm talking about for anybody out there in YouTube or TikTok, Instagram, wherever you are tuning in from, I'm talking about my market mastery. If you'd like to learn how to trade, just click the link that's there. It might be my profile. And you will find the market mastery. All right, so he's talking about the 135 new charts, perfect model, incredible charts for you to train your eyes on. What do you recommend to buy today, boss? Nothing for anybody who asks that question. Sorry. No, but I mean, like, seriously, be careful. The more you rely on other people, the less you rely on yourself, and the more your money is just going to spiral out of control, out of your control, because now somebody else isn't helping you with it spiraling out of control. Every bet that anybody, even experienced trader, has as an idea must be accompanied by masterful trade management. So anyway, we're looking at this one, ELAB, for intraday day trading, if that's what you're thinking about. But we're more interested in trying to get signals and entries on bigger names. ELAB is only a 30 million micro cap. We really try to cut that off at about 300 million. 600 million market cap would be better. 800 million would be better, and anything over $1 billion would be finally, good, because we want the names to be liquid, established, clearing regulatory requirements. The more you focus on quality, the smaller the universe of tradable stocks becomes, but it's still 1,000 or 2,000 deep, which is way plenty for you to find an opportunity every day or two, or more than one opportunity every day or two. So mostly we're watching the markets, and we're trying to get the markets to tell us when it's in a position to do something astounding, because you don't want to put your money into a boat going out into a storm. We're really going to push that analogy. I think it's a good one. Don't put all your money in a boat that's going out into a storm. It's very likely that it's not going to make it. Could it make it? Yeah, it could, but it could also end up on Gilligan's Island. You don't want your money to end up on Gilligan's Island. No. Or Lost. That would be good. If anybody's seen Lost, it's kind of like an inside joke. Inside something going on there on that joke. It means you'll never see the money again. You have to see the show Lost to really understand that. The whole thing. What's my thoughts on SoFi going into earnings? Okay, a couple of things about SoFi. I believe I'm in SoFi a little bit, but a couple of things about SoFi is, actually, that's looking good. But the last few days, it did not hold that pullback. Usually we do hold that pullback, but right now we're hitting this consolidation area again. So we have to wait and see if maybe it finds some support in this consolidation area. If it doesn't, it's kind of like all over, and it doesn't really matter. You could have great earnings and get all the way back up to break even. Like, how is that helpful? If you're flipping a coin and heads, you get break even, and tails, you lose twice as much, that's not helpful. So we'll see how it goes, because I wouldn't, give a crap about the earnings unless, unless you're buying at the bottom or something, right? So we'll see how it goes. It's coming. The earnings on that are not until the 29th. So the market might be panicking that day. We'll see. That's the prognosis. Matthew and Christian, hello. Mario, are you still here? Did you hear what I was saying earlier? So you look at that ELAB. Let's put it up on the radar here. And it has our, signature look and all, but I definitely put it into a B class. It might be B plusy or C plusy, but it's kind of acting kind of B class. Like the stair stepping is not continuing. That'd probably put it into A class, but it's also not rug pulling and failing out. And we're only 4.5 minutes before the market opens. So something positive is going on there at ELAB. It just had a downgrade this morning from Morgan Stanley. So it popped 15%. That doesn't make sense. I'm not sure what's going on there. There's some other news going on, obviously. Something's happening. It could have been just some Yahoo with money saying, okay, well, let me grab some of that. And now everybody thinks something's happening on it. Like when Pelosi, gets a bunch of options on something. And what if she's not doing it for any, surreptitious reason? Well, she is, but, just anyway. You understand? Sometimes things move because just one person made an interesting trade. Doesn't make it right or wrong. And you guys are just, playing alley betting games with each other. Illiquid pre-market? Yeah. No, it's not, J. King. It's not really a liquid pre-market. It was before pre-market. Like every day prior since its IPO in November, it's been pretty illiquid. But no, right now it's kind of liquid, right? But it's doing, let's see, 5.8 million shares pre-market, and it is a $3.50 average this morning. So it's trading. What is the math on that? $21 million. So there's some money being thrown around at it, but it's not Tesla. I mean, come on. There's a big difference. Not that we're going to jump into Tesla right now. All right, let's take a look at Tesla since we said something. The last thing you want is for you to be saying a name and then it does something incredible and you didn't even look at it. No, okay, good. No, Tesla's definitely struggling to remain above water and is heading down, down, down. All right, the market is going to open in 2 minutes. And yeah, Tesla is not where it's at. Yeah, so as you can see, we're opening under Friday's low. Usually that creates a bit of a push up. We fill the gap. It's called backfilling, where those who are excited about prices at these levels will probably fill it, but then there may not be anyone else, and so then it will. What's the word? Careen off of a cliff and go back down red. And then there'll be more people excited to buy, and it's a process. But watching the market is one of the most important things you can do. It's like being a surfer and understanding and watching the weather and tides and waves. It doesn't help if there's no waves or if the weather is bad, unless you're suicidal, which I suppose a lot of surfers are. A lot of gamblers are too. Tesla for a while. All right. That's good, man. That's a good trade right there. All right, 40 seconds till the market opens. After the first minute or two, then I'll look on this list right here and these three lists right here, and we'll get some ideas of possibly anything that's looking good today. But if there's more red than green off the open, that's not a good sign. So we'll see. It may not be a signal day today. All right, 12 seconds. Six, five, four, three, two, one. And we're off. Should have like the Kentucky Derby sound. Okay, as expected. No, never mind. I was gonna say the market is being bought up off the open, but nah, it's also selling off some. Keep an eye on ELAB for it to break any inner pivots or get over VWAP, for example. The guys on Trader TV are trading Microsoft. By the way, Microsoft, my prediction for the best name stock of the year by the end of this year. That's my prediction. I think the last quarter is going to be the most astounding quarter. All right, the market is green, moving green off of the open, and ELAB's failing out. So no signal on ELAB. Now, if you really had conviction about ELAB, but we kind of can't, well, if you really had conviction about ELAB, you could get a 5-minute dip buy. But it's not super liquid, typically. So after the hype fades, what are you left with? Kind of like not enough liquidity. Okay, we're moving up a little bit off of the open. Market's been open for 1 minute and almost 2 minutes now. And yeah, that's the thing is, we only have like 20 green names that are green off the open and going fast, slow, and decreasing. And then we have, 100 names that are red. So it's a pretty weak open for the types of stocks that we like to, trade. Growth stocks, high growth stocks. Pretty weak open. ELAB not really picking up yet. And it would really need to break a pivot in order for you to have anything there. And by the way, that's only for an intraday day trader. That's not a swing stock. So we don't have any names to mention off of the open. I mean, there are some names: NXT, TAL, SATS, Duolingo, GCOS, AMR, IoT, SMCI, Edu. We know some of these names: CellH, Edu, ELF, Soxel, the semiconductor index. So off of the open, it's green. But the way the market is and the way a lot of these stocks are, the breadth, it's a little bit questionable whether or not today's an entry day or not. I will check out one of those. So, like, for example, Duolingo. IBM, Randy? Yeah, I could check that out. All right, Duolingo. Is it a signal day or not? No, it's not. Well, hang on. No, it's not. So this is what happens. You get these things that are green off of the open, but they're meaningless. They're not entry points. They can be an inside day, uh, or have even opened lower. Elf, it's a very high tight flag on Elf. Looks great. But will it break new highs? I mean, yes, eventually it will, but definitely I'd be looking for some pullback on that. I don't know about you, but I'd be looking for some pullback. IBM. All right, let's take a look. I'd be looking for some pullback right about now. Yeah, very nice. Beautiful, Randy. Like, what the hell? Did you study those charts? I mean, this is one of those charts. Like if you were trying to find those, anything that's not on the list. So the reason why this is not on the list, though, I mean, that's beautiful. Huge move, right? From here to here, but it's only 21% in 50 days. Remember, we're looking for the minimum is 20% in 20 days or 30% minimum in 60 days. I'm sorry, 40 days. 30% move in 40 trading days. And this was like 22% in 50 days. So it's too slow. Correct. It's too slow. We got 1% ADR here, and we want 3.6 or 3.2, 3.5% ADR would be better. But yes, it is making a signature growth move. It's just one of the slower stocks. So yeah, you could get into that in a retirement portfolio and never look back. Yeah, the ADR thing. You could look into a retirement. You could put it into a retirement portfolio. We just looked at Tesla charts where it's been having some bad news. Yeah, the Tesla's just keep continuing to be in a down cycle right now. So, but that's a perfect chart. Huge leg up, consolidation area, high type flag overall. And now coming up off the bottom and breaking out. Inner pivot breakout would have been on Friday of last week. And now we got continuation and breakout to new highs on IBM. It's 1% ADR. So it won't beat the market. But it's a nice stock pick at a signature moment. But if you get in, you'd want to hold it for 25 plus years, So it's a good time, if you missed any of the bottom reversing moments or entry moments on IBM, it's still in a good spot. All right. But we go over to like I don't know. Here's a whole bunch of high growth stocks. Let's try another one. SMCI, CellH, NTRA. The list of positive moves off of the open, I think, expanded by 1. So there's a little tiny incremental push in the right direction. But again, the weather, the stock market itself, I don't trust here. The weather is storm coming, kind of, And by storm, I just mean a pullback. I don't mean like a real storm. not like not like a correction or a crash or anything. Okay, now what I wanted to look at was SMCI, I suppose. Yeah, SMCI's high type flagging. It's generally good progress. Good progress. It's holding its gains. Beautiful 6-month cup and consolidation, cup and handle kind of situation breakout that it recently went through. SMCI. Guess I better study that ADR thing. Well, I mean, at minimum, you should have looked at, for example, the text that was there on the 135 charts. Maybe you haven't even looked at it yet. And but when you get there, it'll talk about that. Well, No, it didn't even talk about the ADR. It does talk about the ADR, I think. No, I'm not sure if I put that there yet. No, I don't think I did not. But it'll talk about the other thing, which is you only want to be concerned with stocks that have moved 20% in a month or 30% in 2 months. See, like 2 months later, it could have slowed, but it shouldn't still be 20% max move in 2 months. It should be more, 30%. But if it moved to at least 20% in 1 month, that's great. But after 2 months, if something's moved 30%, that's great too. But it has to be more than that or more. And a lot of our stocks that we pick are more. Nothing just nails it. It doesn't need to be nailed. We have stocks that are 100%, 400%, 70%, 150%, you name it, anything, but those are the minimums. We need fast moving stocks, decent names, should be at least an 800 mil market cap, 300 mil, at least a bill, 1.2 billion, and, and liquid, and all that good stuff. You'll see. All right, there we go. The market has going the other way now. This is what we expected. Pullback all week. And it is happening. So, I'm not like I'm not excited. Like I'm like, here we go. All right, whoa, undo. The market is pulling back. It's just that this is what we expected. So this sets up the tone for the week. Depending midday, maybe we'll get a pickup, but that's a 3-day pivot reversal right there. Today, the prior day, and the prior day altogether create a 3-day pivot reversal formation, which usually gives us at least one more, pullback day tomorrow at least. But it might not be tomorrow. It might be the next day. Tomorrow you could have a green day, taking a pause, and then the next day, boom, lower. But we're in pullback right now, and that is for sure. All right. My save position now up 122%. That's great. Yeah, it's playing right into my hands, moving right along optimum trajectory. And that is a swing trade, so slow and steady wins the race. So it looks like just about darn near everything is dropping. Yes, it's across the board. So this is a lowering of tides. When we get that, it is on every sector, everything going down. When we get that all together in synchrony like that, usually it means it's going to grind down all day. So we're off to a red start to the week. And this is exactly why we just watch the market primarily first and foremost before we get excited about stocks. Although there may be some things setting up, there's really no reason to put your money in a boat going out into a storm. Damn, that's a good analogy. All right. So you guys, very good. Let's go back into the group and please communicate and keep each other abreast of opportunities and what's going on. And I'll do the same, obviously, let you know what's hot. And by the end of the day, I'll let you know through my alerts if there's anything to get into. Although if it's a very red day, don't expect any, okay? Don't expect any. When the alerts come, they come like mad crazy. I mean, so many, because it'll be, a sunshiny day and the outlook is for 2 weeks of sunshine, so right on. Okay, see you back in the group, guys. Have a great morning, and everybody out there, make sure you click the link in my profile or my bio. It has lots of resources for you to go through, including like automated stock market, passive income trading, and all kinds of cool stuff. Favorite books. All right.